So my name is Marilisa. I live in Rome. My family is from outside of Naples, but I grew up in the United States in northern New Jersey. So I'm Roman, Neapolitan, and American. So I, at a very, very young age, found myself, I don't want to use words like attracted or passion, because those are very positive words for a very negative thing, but I was traveling in New York City, and to get back to New Jersey, we have this bus depot called the Port Authority, where the buses from New Jersey come in, and it's kind of also noted for a lot of slimy stuff that goes on. And there were these girls in their underwear essentially, and they were being kind of flirtatious, and I noticed that this was in Times Square, which is right outside the Port Authority, or not far away from the Port Authority. And I noticed that these men were like lurking behind them. Like this one guy kept his eye on them and just kind of wouldn't let them really out of his sight. And so I just knew that something was not okay. And so I did some research, and it led me into the problem of human trafficking. And I was just so heartbroken and so blown away by the fact that this awful form of slavery, existed in, I guess it was yesterday's world now, but it was maybe 2008, probably 2010. So it's relatively recent. This is in ancient times, and I was just so horrified that I promised that I would use some of my life to help end this problem. I got to Talitacum through the USMI, the Unione Superiore di Madri here in Rome, and their anti-tratta, anti-human trafficking chapter. And when I entered there, of course, I had visions of like going into the streets and saving people and marching to parliament and, changing all these laws and just ending it. But what I came to find was that in Italy, many people, most Italian people, I would say, are unaware of the gravity of the problem. And sometimes I feel like, well, you're not really doing anything, but it's just the first step. And it's necessary to take this step, because people need to know that there's a problem in order to find the solution. Awareness is important, because when you hear the story of girls who are trafficked, when you become familiar with the problem, when you even hear the story of girls who chose, and I use chose very, very loosely, really for lack of a better word, to sell their bodies for survival. When you really, really get to know them, you realize that these people are human beings, that I don't know how to express it. There isn't a difference. We aren't more human because we aren't a trafficked girl, right? Or we aren't in a condition that forces us to sell sex to live. So when you really get to know what's going on, you would have to be I would say that everybody feels compassion. And so you need awareness for that compassion and that empathy to exist. And those compassion and that empathy are vital in order to do something to end human trafficking, which is something that I do believe that we can do. Something that I learned at USMI is that we always, when we talk to people about human trafficking, when we try to raise awareness, we always have to make sure that we're coming from a place of hope.